You and I, we make this beloved circle whole. So come and join in. We've been waiting for you. Let's begin in love and an openness to grow our faith, especially today as we focus on letting go together. You know, sometimes in spring, we're moving forward into all this new life, but we often have to let go of things together in order to have new things come in and grow, right? So let's rise in body or in spirit and spiral in and come and sing a song with all of creation.
Here's our note. La. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me. Come sing a song with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me. Come dream a dream with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll sing a song of love and a rose in the winter time. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me. Come share a rose with me, that I might know you're mine. And I'll bring you home when hope is hard to find. And I'll bring a song of love and a rose in the winter time. A rose in the winter time.
For our chalice lighting today, we have Reverend Margoley. Some of you might know from your parents that Reverend Margoley won't be continuing as our minister past the end of June. So we'll have to let go of her later this year. But for now, she's going to light our chalice. And here she is.
Please join me in lighting our chalice. Life is a gift for which we are grateful. We gather in community to celebrate the glories, the mystery of this great gift.
Offering to serve. We begin by making a chalice with our hands or a bigger one like this, whichever you're comfortable with, and we focus on being grateful for all the things that we have in ourselves. So breathing in and breathing out. What can you be grateful for in this moment that you possess in yourself? What qualities, capacities, abilities, what gifts are you feeling blessed with right now in your own self? And expanding that to all the people and beings that you know. To be able to be grateful right now for something someone said or did, for a community that you can belong to, for a connection that you have, that makes you feel loved and supported, or challenges you in some way that helps you grow. Breathing in and breathing out. And what gifts of the natural world are with you in the interdependent web of life? What beauty, what food, what capacity in nature allows you to live this life you have at the moment. For all of those gifts, we breathe in and breathe out. So, having gathered all of this gratefulness of all of these gifts and blessings within ourselves, within our communities and others, and with the entire web of life, we gather that gratitude and we make an offering or intention to serve, opening up ourselves. What do we intend to or serve with today that can spread those blessings far and wider than just ourselves? Let's imagine those possibilities and commit to serving the world in some way with all that we've been given. May it be so. For a moment of inquiry today, I asked a few children what they thought about this question. The question is, are we ever truly alone in life? We have JP and Sana and Idia and Poppy just offering their wisdom to us.
No, because, just one not alone? No.
I don't think we're ever alone in this world because someone is always there to support us in life through challenges and no challenges.
No, because we have a whole love with us. No. Because we have a family.
That's right. We aren't really ever truly alone. When you think about it, it's part of that cycle of life that we lose things, and that in order to move forward, sometimes we let go of things, but we're letting go of things together. We're never this singular person in the web of life. We're always connected to other people as we move forward. And that's been true with COVID. You know that yourself, right? We've had to let go of things being different now. The things that we wanted to have, maybe we didn't have. And so we've let go of a lot, and we've had a lot of loss. But we've also had lots of strength here among us and lots of ability to come together. Our story today is, it's a kind of a sad story. It's a story about a mother who loses her child. But if you'll listen with your heart, you can hear that part of the most beautiful story is that this is a story for all of us to remember, whether we have a very small loss in our life, whether it's somebody who we love is moving on or moving, whether we lose a pet, or whether we just lose a season, or we lose a capacity to do something, whatever it is, this story really has a lot to offer us in terms of teaching. Kisa Gotami was a beautiful young woman with neither father nor mother to care for her. In the city market one day, a rich young man saw her as she stood in a booth selling flowers. He fell in love with her at first sight, and later they married and had a child. And almost before she knew it, the child could run about and talk. She loved him more than anyone else in all the world, whether he was obedient or stubborn. But one day the little boy suddenly became very sick, and even though his mother and father did everything they knew how to do for him, the little boy did not get well. In a few days he died. Kisa could not believe that her little boy had gone. She thought his sickness had only put him to sleep of some kind. Some kind of medicine would surely wake him up, she thought to herself. So she wrapped the little body in its sheet and lifted it up in her arms and carried it to the neighbor's door. "Please, my friend," she begged, "give me some medicine that will cure my child." But when her neighbor lifted the sheet and saw the baby's face, she shook her head sadly. She knew there was no medicine that would cure him. Over and over, Kisa went to people in the village asking them for medicine that would cure her child, until one day a man saw her in the street and said, "I believe that there's somebody that could help you. Go to the Buddha," he said. "He can always help people." So Kisa went to the Buddha to find out if he had some medicine for her. The Buddha looked tenderly at her as an anxious mother. He knew that the child was dead, but he knew he couldn't bring the dead back to life again. But he also knew that he could help her. "My good woman," he said, "you must go to find the medicine on your own. Go and bring me a handful of mustard seed." "Oh," said Kisa, "surely I can find a handful of mustard seed." And then the Buddha said, "Do as I tell you, but remember this, the mustard seed must be taken from a house where no one has ever died, or it will be of no use." Well, believing that she could find the mustard seed, she went from home to home. But the problem was that everyone had had somebody in their home who had died. And so it was that, having no home that could give her the mustard seed, she went back to the Buddha. She was beginning to understand why he had sent her to get the handful of mustard seed. "Good woman," he said, "have you brought me the mustard seed?" "No," she said, "there's no house in the village where somebody has not sometime died." "Sit down beside me," said the Buddha. "Let's talk a while." And so it was that the Buddha shared with Kisa about life and about death and how intertwined they were. Our lives in this world are short, whether we live for 1 or 100 years, and everyone who is born must at some time die. We all have our times of happiness and also our times of pain and sorrow. And do not try to free yourself from suffering. Try rather to free yourself from hate and selfishness. Do not struggle and be at peace. Accept your life as a gift and take the days as they come, one by one, and fill them as much with kindness as you can. Kisa went often to the Buddha. The thoughts he gave her to think about were the best kind of medicine for her loneliness. Now she knew how much it hurt to be lonely, and she began to learn how to comfort others who were also lonely and sad. She often went to the homes of the poor, and she brought food and flowers and played with children, and in these ways she slowly learned how to comfort herself, knowing that all people had shared something that she herself had been through. And that's the end of the story. So in response to this story, I would invite you to do a letting go practice. What's something that you would like to let go of today? Or that you feel like you've had to let go of and maybe was sad for you, or maybe feels like a relief, or anything at all. And the way we do this is just to find a movement that feels like a letting go kind of movement. So you might do like an energy, like letting go of your energy and just kind of clearing your body. You might feel like you need to move in lots of different ways to let that energy out. We know that moving forward in new life always involves some kind of letting go. So we'll play the song Wo Ya Ya, which means we are going together.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going, but we know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. It
There's so much in this story that teaches us a lot. And usually we do this story around the time of October or November when things are dying. But I wanted to remind us that in springtime there can also be loss. We can move into this time of emergence, but a lot of times that means we're letting go of things too. So the story teaches me about this ability to find a comfort that I know that many of you have lost a pet. So I lost my pet just last week. And so I know that a lot of you have lost a pet or have lost someone that you love or have lost an ability to do certain things you wanted to do this year, right? So the story really teaches us that respect for the web of life also means that we have that nourishment, that gratitude for the web that can fill us up so that we can continue to serve in our own lives and we can continue to give back. Another thing that the story teaches is to focus on the right things, to focus on what's most important is getting rid of your selfishness, not suffering, because we're all going to have suffering, right? We love people, we love our pets, we love all life, and life dies, right? So part of the story is to focus on where life is and the kindness that you can pour into that and the capacity to find connection with other people and share that love of life with them. And it really reminds me not only of respect for the interdependent web of life, but that acceptance of one another and encouragement to keep growing. It's a big thing in Yuyuism, is to keep growing, and part of that will involve growing pains, right? We grow through life, and life is sometimes painful, and that's true. The plants come right up through the ground and they break it right open, you know? For our moment of witness today, I invited Lynn Kinsman to come and share with you a really great example of how a family can let go together. Really deep love for someone means that you accept them for who they are and you let them grow into who they want to become, not necessarily who you want them to become, especially as parents, but who they themselves would like to become. And here she is.
Hi, I'm Lynn Kinsman. My family consists of my two kids, Eris and Devin, who you might know have gone through the church school at First Unitarian, and my husband, Thomas, and of course our extended family. What letting go together has meant to us has been a significant change when each of my children came out as transgender around age 16. And that meant a lot of changes for them, which we as parents could help them with, helping them get through the legal process of changing their name, getting used to using new pronouns around the house, encouraging our friends and family to do the same. But I guess the main thing about letting go together is expecting a different future than the one we had thought might happen for our child, but also to embrace the new future that they're going to march forward to on their own.
Great big love from church, and hoping that that letting go allows us all to lift up and lift our spirits up. And we are honored to have Lynn come back and sing with us this song about really doing just that in a hot air balloon. Bye for now. I'll see you next time.
Started our journey up to the sky, flying in a balloon, floating above the trees. above, and then dipped down low. With a pull on the gas, we rose up so high. Dogs started barking while kids watched us fly. On the moon ride is a magical trip. The world is so big yet so small, hanging peacefully in the air, seeing the beauty in all. Flying in a balloon, floating above the trees. We're flying in a balloon, carried along by the breeze. We searched below for a good landing place, an open field that would have enough space. Lower and lower we started on down. We bumped and we skidded to a halt on the ground. The chase car met us in a thick field of hay. Families gathered to watch and to play.